Now there's a little more passion, there's a little more drive again because of the building. I'm in this building now, so I got a little more drive. And I got some more fight left in me. Got a little more fight left. I see a couple of brothers out there gave up, you know? So it started with a thought. I was in prison, and when I got out of prison, my whole goal was to make it to Atlanta. You know, it was the civil rights, birthplace of the civil rights movement. And I found myself being more black, doing a whole bunch of things in prison, you know, waking up, getting knowledge of self. So I get to the point where I go visit my mother and I meet these girls. They're coming to Atlanta. So I told them I always wanted to go to Atlanta. I want to go to Atlanta. And what I did was take all my money and my funds, rented a truck, got these young ladies here to Atlanta, moved them in the house, fixed the locks, changed the locks, did all this for them. Then I flew back to Massachusetts, and I had to wait to get my taxes together, get my job right so I can collect unemployment and get back here and have some money coming. So when I get back to Atlanta, finally 6 months later, you know, they never answer the phone, they never, you know, just never answered. And I'm like, well, when I pull up to the house, that'll be different. Lo and behold, I pull up to the house, they don't even live there no more. So I had the landlord's number, I called him up, and he said they moved about 2 months ago, didn't leave any forwarding address, and they left owing him money. And I don't know anybody, and I don't know where to go. I don't even know how to get around. So I meet this young lady, and we talk. This is the first person I even spoke to. The very first person that I spoke to in Atlanta let me live in her house. We had a little relationship, and that didn't work out. So I'm looking for a room, and I find a room over here on Bankhead, over this way, off of Hollywood Road. It happened to be on Ada Ave, so I get over there. You know, the guy wouldn't let me move in because I only had $200. It was $250 moves you in, no deposit, no security, nothing, $250. And I had $200, so he wouldn't let me move in, so I had to go back over there to Old National to where I was with this young lady. And I looked for a room, and I found the same picture, but a different guy's name under it. So I called him up, and he met me at the room, and he just so happens to let me move in the room. So now I have a room. So I got a place now. All right, I'm on my way. I got a room. So I get into riding up and down Bankhead trying to learn the area, because this is my room now. I learned the area. I said, whoa, I got about 8 quarters. Let me shine the car up. Got me a little Impala with some rims on it, so I'm about to shine the car up, look good, see what I can attract, you know, brother. In a new neighborhood, new city, new state, and I pull over down here at BP, and I see a guy selling CDs. So me and the brother talked for about an hour and a half and didn't even know that there was a car wash in back of me right there. That's how I was so laser focused on this tent. About a week later, the brother let me run the business from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I picked him up at the airport on Friday. About 6 months into the business, policeman rides up on me, and he tells me he's gonna put me in jail for copyright infringement. You know, after talking to the policeman and, you know, dealing with God on God's level and how he does things, the policeman let me go, and I got a job at the same time when he let me go. I get a job right up the street, which is Georgia Power. Now they're building a new power plant up there, and they're tearing the old one down. Well, I built the new one and tore the old one down. And by the time that job was done, I could get retirement. But I need some tax people to help me out. So there happened to be a Jackson Hewitt across the street from the Lawsons. So I went back to God again and said, well, wait a minute, I came to spend my money black. So I chose the Lawsons because they're year round. If I have any tax problems, I can always go in the office and they can straighten them out for me. From the Lawsons, I ended up starting a business with $2, which was a case of water. Man, this is the humblest of beginnings, y'all. From homeless to the CDs to a case of water. I was selling about 100 bottles of water a day, I kid you not. This water was ice cold, and you know, again, I have to look at it. God, I don't know if y'all can remember, but we had 3 weeks straight of 100 degrees every single day for 3 weeks. And the coolest it got was 80 to 90 at night. So I was selling 100 bottles of water a day. And a brother came by, being a little sarcastic, you know, ain't nobody want that water, get some socks. So I went into Lawson's and said, how come people are asking me to sell socks? And they said, well, there used to be a guy out there selling socks on our property. I said, well, you know where he was going to get socks? And they said, yeah, there's a guy over there in Metropolitan, he's selling socks. So I went over there, not on Metropolitan, excuse me, on Lee Street. So I go over there and talk to the African brother, and he sells me some socks. So I started selling socks. Another random customer comes by, says, hey man, you selling those raggedy socks? Ain't nobody want them raggedy socks. Get some t-shirts. The guy I'm buying the socks from sells wholesale t-shirts too. So I get t-shirts. Go back to prison in my thought. Well, God said food, clothing, and shelter. Thank God that I'm still adhering to my lessons. Because we're going to take a little trip around and we're going to see from the humble beginnings, you know, from BP to the little shed, and then we can pan out all this what I have now from a $2, from a thought. Let's just deal with it because it started with a thought in prison. From that thought, I just kept on following, man. It got me to this point where I have the biggest store and parking lot, I think, from 285 all the way down to Northside Drive. I got one of the biggest corner lots that there is, from a prison thought and following God.